to another episode of Into the Nerdiverse. This is just a live show where I just talk about what's going on in the world of pop culture, whatever floats my boat. I guess. So I did start this a little bit earlier. Normally I do like a 5-minute intro into it. How's it going, cosplay dude 637 Willie? Yeah, if you guys are watching, let me know that you're watching in the chat. Cosplay dude and I just not too long ago, an hour or so ago, recorded a new movie talk. So there is going to be a movie talk coming out this week. So we took a little hiatus, and we're back at it. What's up, Billy? Billy's on too. All right. So it's kind of been a busy, I guess, 2 weeks now. We got 2 weeks to kind of catch up with things instead of the usual 1 week. I took last week off because of the holiday and just because I guess it wasn't feeling it last week. So sometimes I have those weeks where I might not have as much content as I want there to be. But the holiday, it was a busy holiday week. So, but we're back with Into the Nerdiverse. So, thank you all for watching. And I will promote Zeo to Hero. So I actually am going to have a few commercials on this live stream. BT dubs. So look forward to that. So yes, Zeo to Hero is the host. I am one of the partners in the Zeo to Hero network. And so if you only follow me, you need to be following Zeo to Hero and all their partners. Cosplay Dude 637, Red Cornish Ranger, Iron Avenger, Neon Lights, Sam. Don't know what her nickname is nowadays. So they keep changing it on Discord. So follow the Zeo to Hero Discord, which is Discord. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zeo to Hero. Discord dot Zeo to Hero. Dot Zeo to Hero.com. Something. Yeah, got your name dropped. So let's kind of get into the news of what's been going on. We already finished Obi-Wan. So we're not going to be talking about Obi-Wan anymore. It's done. I enjoyed it. There's some good, bad, and ugly with that season. There may or may not be another season, so we will see. There doesn't need to be. It was exactly what it needs to be for the story of Star Wars. The Skywalker saga kind of helps in with that. So we are going to get back in with Miss Marvel. Hey, Zeo to Hero, I name dropped you too, so you're only lucky. We're all lucky. We're all lucky. I'm lucky. But, so Miss Marvel, if you guys have been following Miss Marvel, we're on episode 5 already, and I'm enjoying it. I think we only have one more episode, so next week will be the last episode of Miss Marvel, which would be bittersweet. I'm enjoying the season. It's a good show. In my ear. And I think in this last episode, again, I'm not gonna go into any spoilers with any of this, so you don't have to worry about, oh no, he's gonna talk spoilers. I haven't seen Miss Marvel. I haven't seen The Boys. I haven't seen these movies that he's gonna talk about. Don't worry, we're not gonna go into spoilers. But they go more into the backstory of what's really going on in Miss Marvel as far as the backstory goes. And it's because if you've been watching, you know that there's something with her Kamala and her great grandmother. And her great grandmother really is the person that kind of started. That's where she got her powers from. You have to watch the show to kind of get there, but so we kind of go this last episode into the actual story of her great grandmother and what happened to her and everything. It takes place like in 1942 when I think it's 42. I do have it's not really a issue because I know the production is 2022, so the everything, the makeup and everything is 2022, but I kind of feel like her great grandmother has her eyebrows are too nice to be from 1942. Like they're on fleek. Say nowadays, I'm trying to be hip like the kids, but um, but anywho, we kind of see what's going on in her backstory and what happened to her. Where is she now? You have to watch it. No. Has anybody been watching Miss Marvel so far? Let me know if you have, what you think about it, and everything else. I'm really hoping that because last episode we had an issue with the show freezing up, so you can't see. But we also had some issues with some of the comments not showing up on wherever you watch, either YouTube or Facebook, but not on my video. So the tie into Shang-Chi was pretty good. Was there a I've only saw Shang-Chi once. It was a good movie. I loved it, but wasn't quite sure what the I'm sure there was a connection. Makes sense because that's that part. Um, but um, but yeah, I'm sure it was pretty. Um, I think it's interesting, like how they're going. They don't go back and forth, so the show's not set up to where it goes back and forth. But this episode kind of ushers you into the past to Kamala's great grandmother, um, and the story between her and the other Jin. Um, it does, in my opinion, this episode it just changed some things for the future of Miss Marvel with the character of Kamran. Um, now I'm not going into that, but it feels like some of the things that were really important to story are now gone, but we have one episode left. So now instead of two big bads, we have like one bad, and we don't know what's gonna happen now because the story just completely shifts before this last episode coming. So I'm sure it's gonna set up for the Marvels movie, which is the movie with Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Monica Rambeau. So you, the hero, will never tell. I'm sure you will once everybody starts to say it to somebody. Or we can talk offline on about it. So, but I'm enjoying this show. One more episode. Kind of bittersweet that there's only one more episode because I feel like there still could be more. I know we have a lot of people when it comes to some of these Disney Plus shows um, that gripe that like this could have been a movie. This could have been a movie. I like that it's a TV show. Yes, we have to wait a week for the next part, but we get to enjoy it for 6 weeks instead of just 2 hours and one sitting. We get to kind of think about things more. We get to one thing I love about these Disney Plus, especially the Marvel shows, is we get to predict and try to think of where we're going from here. So I enjoy that. I'd rather have 5 6 hour TV show than a 2 hour movie. You can pack more into it, get more emotion, get more involved in the characters, and I love that. I love that. So we are gonna segue from here to talk about The Boys. So we had The Boys season 3 finale. Just came out Thursday night. Today and today, Thursday night, last night, and tonight, and it so it's not as crazy as like this season could have. I think they didn't necessarily tone it down, but I feel like with The Boys this season, it's been a great season. Um, but it's already been picked up for season 4, so I I think season 4 is gonna go all out crazy. This set up to where you know that it can get crazy. He did come in. Yeah. Play on or but no. Oh, I think yeah. With this last episode, they've already set up where this could go, but they I I think things are going to get crazy now with getting another character that you haven't seen much now involved at the end and almost changing who that character was before. Not in a good way, not in a bad way in the sense of storytelling, but not in a good way. It's not going to be good for the good characters or other people in this story. I mean, in this show, and it creates a for Nor. We're not going to go into anything. I do kind of feel bad for a particular character because they set up so much for them, and I feel like the payoff really wasn't there, and we're not going to see that character again. I feel like they didn't do that justice. It was completely off from the comics because that character is a completely different character in the comics. But I felt like I knew that they were going to kill somebody else. Somebody that's important had to. I thought they would do more than the amount that they did, but um, I didn't really want any of them to go. And I think somebody got the short end of the stick because they never really were important to the story, the main just here and there. But this season they were, and then they were just like done. But it's okay. It's okay. I think life will live on for some of the characters. It's not, um, but it got crazy at the end of that episode because now things are a little more out in the open, and people in this universe are okay with a lot of messed up stuff now. Now, before Vought had to hide so much stuff. You kind of saw that coming. Poor Ashley's hair. Yeah, you kind of saw that coming. Um, but it was kind of yeah. Yeah, just say poor every character. That way, people who haven't seen the episode, um, I wouldn't say poor A Train, really, um, because I don't know. You can kind of see in this season that he was wanting to do the right thing, and he just messed up on accident most of the time. I don't. I think he's gonna learn his lessons, um, or he learned his lesson. But I just between him and you can never nobody should care about the deep. That there's the deep. I think he's just too. too much of a wuss to really make something of himself. He just wants to be Homelander's way, or what. You know, the episode before this one, there was a big reveal at the end. And this whole episode kind of played on that. You didn't know which direction that was going to go. Somebody was going to, if Homelander and Soldier Boy would team up or not team up, and then, you know, Homelander decide to involve somebody else in this. The Deep is a huge suck up, yes. Like, at no point has he. No, he can't do anything on his own. I think this season did whenever he had his wife that he had from the Collective or whatever. She was basically his manager. She wrote everything for him. Like, she was who everybody thought the Deep was, in a sense. You know, she probably wrote his book. Ghost wrote it, and planned all his things out to make him, you know, have success. And now without her, he's literally nothing. So he has to make Homelander happy. He's got nothing to live. Like with the 7 to begin with, then the Exile and the Church, then his wife, and then Homelander all control. And A-Train, that was tired. With yeah, there was a lot of ironic things with with at the end of the last episode with A-Train and some other things. And you know, he's kind of been a weird character to kind of put your finger on in the whole series, like all 3 seasons, because he's not, you know, none of them were good people. But this season, he was trying to, you know, he was horrible at it to try to kind of make things right, or try to celebrate Black culture, or the and it just came off just bad. Um, yeah, at no point was the Deep in control of his whole life. No, not at all. Doing it ever in the whole, he, you know, because in the first season he had to be sent, you know, they were sent out to missions. Everything's written for them, you know, because they're products, as Edgar told Homelander, he's not Highlander. I guess you could call him a Highlander. Let's have tendency to heads off. Yeah, all the soups are emotionally and mentally damaged, and I'm sure that's on purpose. That's an easy way to control people, and you see this in the political climate now, is to, you know, cause people just to fear things, to think things that aren't really real, to control narratives, and keep people under certain wraps. So, all terrible people, all of them, but there's so many problems going on. Say, all Bot's fault. Yeah, I think it is, because they're the, technically, if you watch season 1, they created the superhero. Everything is by design. So, and they create them to make themselves money. That's what it's all about. It's all about the. But this, I do see with the boys, the actual boys, not just the superheroes in it. They even though they were kind of separated through this whole season and they're at odds with each other, I think at the end they kind of came to more of an understanding. Butcher is, not a good person still, but he's not the same person that we saw even just last episode, the 2 episodes ago. So, um, and the seven is bad. Well, never mind. I do not want to put spoilers out there. So that might be a discussion for another time, where we can just talk about the boys, because there's a lot to unpack with this. Not just the comic book connections, but just what's going on in the show. Um, it's a messed up show, but it's fun, and it's got a lot of serious stuff in it. Vought also controls the media, the tech, the music, the soups, and the meds. So it's an easy way to break and maintain. Yeah, because they basically try to, they own America in a sense. So, really told you. Yeah. But I think a lot of that is going to come crashing down this next season, or maybe not crashing down at all, because in a sense now Vought is going to be eventually in control, like literally in control of the country. Um, they've already been working with got that guy's name, Bill or something, president. So he's not part of Vought. He's just a senator. I believe he's the senator from Oklahoma. But um, they have a VP candidate in there too. No, that's all I'm going to say. Oh no, now we got brothers fighting now. Chat. They're going to bring their mom into it. She she do this joke. But yeah. So I'm interested in what Bot has their fingers. Yeah, literally. Yeah, well, literally. I don't know if they did, but they do. And I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. I know Edgar's probably gonna come back. He's gonna play a major role uh in future episodes. Iowa. I think in the first season there was a senator. Oh, some things. Yeah, things I can't really say on life. So, but yeah, I think Edgar's gonna come back. Um, we I I'm looking forward to the first episode, because normally the first episode, Bobby Singer, that's the person I'm talking about. Who's name guy? Interesting. Who Jensen Ackles, is it Ackles or Ackles? Ackles, whatever. He's yeah, I think the main producer of the boys was the that creator of Supernatural. Uh, so there's a lot of connection to both shows. Yeah, Eric Kripke. And the guy who played Bob Singer, I think he played like a small character in Supernatural. So yeah. So the first episode is typically the episode with the most messed up stuff. Um, so I don't know how they're going to top the first episode of season 4 or 3. because it had probably the most messed up thing, and like, there's a lot of messed up things in The Boys, but it had probably the most messed up scene of all of them. So I don't know how they're gonna top that. It's gotta be. It's oh, Bobby Singer's okay. Same name. So yeah, I am. I don't know when we're gonna get this next season. Yeah, because the fact that Edgar, it says that season 4 is probably going to start with Edgar making moves. He is probably the only person that was not afraid of Homelander. So he knew either how to control him, the sleeve that we haven't seen yet. Um, so there, he's gonna make big impact on this season. I don't know how. So, um, we have a few characters that I'm pretty sure are not gonna come back for the next season. Either they died or they've already served their purpose in the show. Just going about their business. Mid of next year, filming set to start here. Oh, awesome. Okay. You know, COVID, that kind of pushed a lot of things back because the first season was in 2019. And we finally got the second season, I think, at the end of 2020. Or maybe beginning of 2021. So, and then we finally got the third season this year. So next year, the mid next year, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. That way, it's not like those things where I think the next season of Stranger Things isn't coming out till 2024. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's so big, but they take so long between seasons. I know they spend a whole lot of money. Netflix does to produce those, probably more than they. Because now we're gonna have to. Well, I don't have a Netflix account. Ashley's hair won't be back. No, I think. Oh, her hair. I think her hair will become. That was sad. But you knew that was coming. You knew it was coming. Just a few scenes here and there. I think there was a scene in the second season, and there was a scene like the next last episode, where you knew what was going to happen. But the other Ashley, I think she might do something too. I think she might be. I don't know, because her last shot in this one, like, either that was just a throwaway character, or they were trying to set her up for something bigger. So, so I think of the other Ashley with Ashley's role. I'm surprised Ashley's lasted this long. She hasn't been. She's been making it. She's making it now. So, anywho, we will go into talking about what's been going on in theaters the last few weeks. But in the meantime, Ashley with hair saw Ashley with. No, that wasn't. That was the person from the um, how what they called it, but the one that looks searches for people and the computers and all. That was that person. That wasn't the other Ashley. That was um the other the person from the I guess she's the only one because they fired everybody. That wasn't it. I saw her. So So we will talk about what's been going on in theaters, but um, before we do, here is a message from Zero to Hero.
If you enjoy what you're listening to from the Baker Ranger
Ben,
and all his technical
why?
problems, but
Swear to
sometimes
Jesus.
they're mine
Come on,
because
man.
I mute the
Why?
site or something.
Why is it on fire? Why is it on fire? It shouldn't be on fire. Why is it on
I
fire?
don't know, but you might like
Who
to
don't need to
see
light it on
his other
fire?
stuff on the Zero to Hero network. Also, catch him on YouTube and Facebook
Okay,
to see
wait.
his
How
weekly
do you unplug it, plug
Nerdiverses,
it back in?
and also
No.
see what else he's coming out with in the near future.
I swear to Jeebus.
All right, yeah. So I got more stuff going on in the future. So we're gonna segue into theaters, but we'll finish this thought from Zero to Hero. We might not make it past season 4, episode 1. Still probably won't make it past. Maybe not. We'll see. So I've seen quite a few movies, probably like 4 or 5 movies in the last 2 weeks. Or yeah, I already talked about Lightyear, my last Into the Nerdiverse. But we've had a lot of good ones like the Black Phone. The new Thor movie just came out. Personally, love that. It's a good commercial. Good one. I got another commercial coming up soon too. That's because everything is on fire. So like literally. So I know we're talking about theaters, but I'm gonna go on this subject. So I already mentioned that me and Cosplay Dude 637 did a movie talk or recorded a movie talk earlier today. That was our 3rd attempt. So we tried twice before, and I was having technical difficulties. Either it was all my fault. Like it was like my equipment jacked everything up. I didn't have enough power, my computer to do some things, and jacked up the audio. So we had to record it 3 times. So hopefully this 3rd time it's a masterpiece of an episode. We will see. But anyway, in theaters. So a few weeks ago I saw The Black Phone. I don't know if anybody's seen this or know what this movie is about. Basically, there's these kid abductions happening in this little town, and what it is this guy who's played by Ethan Hawke. He would lure these kids in and leave black balloons, hold them in this room, and then if they try to escape, he kills them. But if they don't try to escape, he just leaves them in there. So all these kids are dying because they're trying to escape, because that's the game. So there's this kid that got the last kid that got kidnapped. He is able to. There's a black phone in the room. It's not connected to anything. I heard that movie was interesting, but no one knows how to use a rotary dial phone, so they all. No, actually, the phone doesn't even work. It's just there. It was there since he was a kid, and he just left it in that room, the basement. The black phone only. Now they don't explain a whole lot in the movie, but they don't really need to because it's really just about. But all these dead, these kids that had passed away, they're calling this kid from the phone, so all he is picking up. He's not dialing it. And so they're trying to help him escape without dying. So it's an interesting concept for a movie, and I think some of the pacing is a little off here and there with it. Some things happen really quickly, and some things just take too long to do. But there's a few things that I wish they would have explained a little bit more, like with the backstory of the kidnapper. But all in all, it was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't terribly scary. It wasn't terribly suspenseful. It was like, here and there. There were some things that were kind of predictable in it, but all in all, I enjoy that movie. I also have seen Elvis. So there's a movie called Elvis, about Elvis. It's got Tom Hanks in it. He doesn't play Elvis. He plays Tom Parker, who was like a business manager of Elvis. He's famous for basically working so many good deals to get him basically half of what Elvis made. So, not the nicest of business sense for his client, but he wasn't. From what I've read, he wasn't a really bad person. He just liked him. But I thought it was okay. I think they went a lot of different weird directions with it, where they added some stylistic things that I don't know. It's really kind of hard to explain. Like if you watch the trailers and Tom Hanks' character Tom Parker, he's got this weird accent. He's in like this fat suit, and from the preview, like it just felt like a caricature, while everybody else was like a real person. And I don't think it worked well. I think they should have done things different, and they kind of made him the main character of the movie. So it's called Elvis, but it's more about him. And most of the time, Elvis is kind of like a secondary character. But it was okay. And Theodore here says, I feel like the music better be good overall. Yes, actually, the music is really good, and I'm pretty sure the guy who plays Elvis, I just forgot his name. He does like all the songs in it. I think it's him singing the song, and he does like the perfect singing Elvis. And I think he works. It works. Like you can tell that he's Elvis, and it's like that's the best. The best part of the movie is the Elvis and his singing. I'm not the biggest Elvis fan. People say he's the king of rock and roll. In my opinion, Chuck Berry is the king of rock and roll. So Chuck Berry was around before Elvis, but or his music was. But I digress from that. I do like Elvis. His music's okay, but might not have Lilo and Stitch if it wasn't for Elvis, because that whole soundtrack is Elvis songs. But all in all, it was okay. It was a good movie. I wish it was more of a traditional biopic than the way they made it. But it did well, and a lot of people love it, and that's all right. We see me and my daughter yesterday. We saw Minions, Rise of Gru, and Thor. So with Minions, Elvis is the best part. Talking about his singing or his dancing. But he didn't make it because of his dancing. Fiddling around of his leg. But actually the bell bottoms. But those were ridiculous. Well, he didn't really do the bell bottoms until later on in his career, whenever he was making his comeback. So but Minions, The Rise of Gru, I thought it was a fun movie. I think I saw the first Minions movie, so there's 3 Despicable Me movies, and this is their second Minions movie. It's kind of like a mix between Despicable Me and Minions, so it's more like a Despicable Minions movie. It was a nice little fun movie. You got to see Gru as a kid and get into hijinks and have a good time. It does do a lot of things that prequels do when it comes with some characters from Despicable Me and how they came into, Gru's life. And so, oh, well, the smack came to go. Sorry, smack. Minions Rise of Gru. I still don't understand how Gru haven't taken over the world with me. That's true. Well, I think Gru rather he likes the minions to help him, but I think he wants to be the mastermind of like creating gadgets and everything, rather than having his minions like be weapons. But yeah, they're basically indestructible. I don't think they can die. There's one minion in here that is literally indestructible in it. Also, the old guy is the direct form from Get Smart. Director Get Smart. See, I was trying to think because I saw when it was the credits at the beginning of the movie, and I'm like, there's I forgot what the guy's name is, and I was like, that's somebody from like a 1960s like TV time. Like this guy, like, and so I guess that's the director from Smart. Yeah, because I saw what was that guy's name? I gotta look it up. I want to say it's Adams something. Alan Larkin? No. Okay. Alan Arkin. See, I was close. I was close. Because I knew that was from older. My name was Wolf. That's kind of. Buster's career since 1964. Yeah. Anywho, I'm back on here now. I thought it was a fun movie. My daughter loved it. She had fun with it. Oh yeah, he was chief on the Get Smart movie. I thought he was on the actual Get Smart show. Um, but Thor. So Thor just came out this weekend, and it was fun. Um, with Taika Waititi, what's his name? He does include a lot of comedy in his movies. Like if you've seen any of his movies, it is like pure comedy. And I think this one has more comedy in it than Thor Ragnarok, which he also directed. It's almost kind of like nonstop, even in some serious moments. But they don't always land. But it was fun. They were still funny. I laughed a lot in this movie. There were some emotional moments that I didn't think would be an emotional moment. Again, not going into spoiler territory because I don't think many people have had an opportunity to see it yet because it just came out yesterday. So, but it was fun. Jane Foster as Lady Thor. Well, not Lady Thor, but Mighty Thor or Dr. Jane Foster. But I thought she did well. I'm a Natalie Portman fan. I like to say that she was my first wife. Back when I was in high school, with her. So, yeah, Toyota Hero. I've been following him since. Boy, I still need to watch that movie. And the dude is hands down a creative. Likes to act. Yeah. Yeah. What? Let me see all the movies. I want to see all his movies. Boy is one of. What We Do in the Shadows. I haven't seen that one or the Jojo Rabbit. So I think I saw Jojo Rabbit in theaters twice. And normally those type of movies I don't see more than once. I think that movie was great. I don't think there's anything wrong, bad about that movie. I think that's like almost a perfect movie. If you have a chance to go see Jojo Rabbit, go see Jojo. But oh. But anywho, yeah. So it's got some heart to it. I think that all in all, pacing at the beginning of the movie for the first little bit was rushed a little bit. I think they could have slowed down in some areas. And the Terror movie. Nice. So that might be interesting to watch. But yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'm not the biggest Thor fan. I never really was. Like, if you know me, I enjoy the MCU, but like to me, it's not the best thing in the world. Especially at the beginning. I don't think until Civil War, I don't think there was a MCU movie that like I really liked. Like a lot of them were good and decent, but I think Civil War, no, not Civil War, was second Captain America movie. Um, I have another brain fart here. Winter Soldier. So the Winter Soldier, at that point in time, was by far the best Marvel movie. There's a lot of just okay. It's the first Thor, I didn't really care that much for. It was okay. First Iron Man, it was okay. Hulk, it was okay. Second Thor, it's not as bad as people say. I was in the camp with Thor when Thor Ragnarok came out that didn't care much for it because they completely changed who Thor was through like 4 or 5 movies that had already came out. But it grew on me with Infinity War. I loved Infinity War. I think after that movie, I really got interested in the MCU. But anywho, so this Thor was pretty fun. And if you haven't seen it, Winter Soldier is still one of the best Marvel movies out there. It is. In fact, I think because you have Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War. To me, those are the top 3, and they're all directed by the same guys. So, seems like when the Russo brothers direct a Marvel movie, it's going to be good. Because in my opinion, those are like the top 3 Marvel movies, hands down. Endgame, I didn't care as much about Endgame as I did. But anywho, we're going to go into some. I know this is going to be kind of off brand a little bit, but I do want to do some, because I love college football, so I'm going to do some college football news. So bear with me. I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible because I know a lot of my viewers don't care. Maybe Billy might be the only person that I can have a conversation with about college football, even though he's a Texas fan. I'm an Oklahoma fan, so no enemies. But we have, they did Community. Heads up. If you like their movies, you'll love the series. I've always been wanting to watch. I've seen scenes, but I haven't seen. I haven't actually watched an episode. I need to look into it. But in the meantime,
Sarge, we got the order, Sarge. Oh, well, all right. What are they, private? Ah, our list of orders. It looks like we got to follow some new shows, like from the Zero to Hero Network. Ah, like the main show, Zero to Hero with Billy and Jam. Numbskulls, stop. Ah, the Baker Rangers on YouTube and Facebook. Stop. Ah, Neon Lights on YouTube. Stop. Ah, the Red Corners Ranger from dang Brett. Stop. Ah, the Iron Avenger 52 on Instagram. Stop. Oh, and also Cosplay Dude 637 story time with me. Stop. Alright, Sarge. Oh, not the private.
yes. So check out all those Zero to Hero partners and all their shows. They're all great. Though I think Jim and Billy might need to work on their accents, which is kind of weird because they're from Texas. But okay, it's okay. So I'm just gonna talk about some college football stuff. I will eventually do like a college football show, but not directly on my Baker Rangers. I think I might do something like that's gonna be something extra, outside. Maybe its own YouTube channel for college football, college sports. I'm big in college sports. I'm from Oklahoma. I'm an Oklahoma Sooner fan. All their sports. Softball recently won national championship 2 years in a row, and unfortunately, Texas did win more national championships this cycle than OU. They've won 4. But one of those is like rowing. Should rowing count as a national champion? I don't know. I don't know if that should count. OU won in women's gymnastics and softball. They almost won in baseball. They lost to Ole Miss, and they did lose to Texas in women's tennis. For the first time they ever made a national championship, and they lose to Texas. But they beat Texas in softball national championship. So Bill and I grew up near Austin, so we didn't get to Texas. I don't know. I lived in Texas for a few years, 2 years. I lived in Porter, Texas. That's near Houston. That was only when I was like 6, 7, 8. But college football news. I wanted to do this last week if I did a Nerdiverse, because that's when the news came out that USC, University of Southern California, and UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, are going to join the Big Ten. That's changing the whole landscape of everything right now for college football. Last year, when it was announced that Oklahoma and Texas would join the SEC, that changed a few things for the Big 12. They had to, get some teams from the AAC, like Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, and then they picked up BYU too, also, which I think they're starting in 2023. So we got one more year of the 10-team Big 12, and starting next year, we'll get more. But with USC and UCLA moving to Big 10, that's completely changed the outlook. College football. Now we're going into the realm of super conferences, and there's reports that the Big 12 is trying to poach some Pac-12 teams that are left over. Some Pac-12 teams were trying to get to the Big 10. They got turned down. The SEC might poach some ACC teams. I don't know. It's all crazy, and I think within by the end of the month, we'll have a little better idea of. Well, technically, by the end of this year, because 2023, Big 12 is going to be different. USC and UCLA, they're going to the Big 10 in 2024. So OU and Texas are supposed to go to the SEC by 2025. I think it's probably going to happen in 2023. I feel like this is going to be the last year they're in the Big 12. But that's all. That's what I think. Anywho, so all right, so I'll go ahead and finish that college football stuff. And go into other news. I wasn't really planning very well with this episode, so I don't know if I have any other news, other things going on. I know San Diego Comic Con's coming up in a few weeks, so that's going to be big. In a few weeks, we'll have more information on possible Power Rangers stuff, Marvel shows, Star Wars shows. Because next month, I think, is when Andor is coming out on Disney Plus. So I'm looking forward to that because he was a character that I loved from Rogue One. So more involved with his story. And everything. We are, the 8th? So in a few, San Diego Comic Con's the 20th, 21st, 22nd, or 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I'm not quite sure. I think it's 21st. It's 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So there's a lot of exclusive. I don't think there has been any announcement on the Legacy or Lightning collection exclusives. But there have been some pop figure exclusives with Leonardo, Ninja Turtle, Blue Power Ranger, and Donatello Black Ranger pop figure. So I'm pretty sure those are going to come out for online sale. There's a lot of pops, like Batman. I think one of them. GameStop is going to have a penguin from Batman Returns, like on one of the something, and some other stuff. From other. What else? So now that The Boys is done, we're gonna stop talking about The Boys on this show. So next week we'll talk about the finale of Miss Marvel. Go ahead and just call this the close. Next week we're gonna talk about the finale to Miss Marvel. We need another Batman Beyond series. I didn't watch a whole lot of Batman Beyond when it came out. How old was I because that came out like 99? Because I love Batman the Animated Series when it came out, and Batman Beyond kind of like took over from that. But yeah, we need to do something with that because we got old Bruce in the movies with the Ben Affleck. He's not really old; he's just kind of been around time or two. But it'd be nice to get like a movie or with Warner Brothers and DC doing a lot of those cartoons, it's that I don't know if every time somebody mentions something, I'm like, no, I haven't seen that. I was hanging out with a friend like a week or so ago, and we went to the comic shop, and I had to try to convince him, like, yeah, I'm a nerd, but I still have a lot to learn about some things. Like, I don't want to be a nerd by just saying I'm a nerd, because I do like things that are nerdy, but I'm not as cultured as I need to be. So I apologize, and I'm hoping that stuff like this, Into the Nerdiverse, my movie talks, if people want to do that with me, and you introduce, a movie that I haven't seen before, awesome. We might do one of those with like a TV show. Might maybe do like a binge on some TV show and talk about that. So I will be more cultured in the Nerdiverse in the future. I'm learning. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't want to be a fake nerd. I apologize. But anywho, yeah. So starting next week, we're not gonna talk about the boys anymore. We got Miss Marvel. Not quite sure what else is going on. I need to catch up. I have not seen Stranger Things season 4. Actually, I need to. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm gonna keep getting myself in trouble. I haven't seen that. So I need to catch up on Stranger Things. Maybe we can talk about that. I gotta start from season 1, episode 1. Orville, yeah, there's only what 1 or 2 seasons of that, so that could be one. The Pentaveret, I need to watch that one. So, yeah. So if you guys have any suggestion of what you want me to talk about, comment what you want. If you're on the Zio to Hero Discord, bring that up there too. On this Facebook or YouTube, got Twitter too. Look us up on Twitter, just Baker Rangers. We have an Instagram also too, but it's Baker_Rangers. Apparently, I made a Baker Rangers Instagram a while ago. I don't remember doing it, but it has my old logo on it, but there's no pictures or anything. So I had to do the underscore. But that's what it is. But now I'm on like all the socials now. Instagram was like the last one, and I'm trying to be more active on those. I've been doing a better job this last week. Let's see if it can continue. I will do these at most Friday nights. Should be every Friday night, but you never know if there's a holiday or something's going on. So, so the Orville started season 3. So now I got to really catch up for all of May. So, anywho, I'm going to end this now. It's been an hour, so thank you for anybody that's been watching, commenting. Again, let me know what you want to see on this show, what you don't want to see, what you don't like, what you do like, and you might like. So, thank you again, and let's end this with Jim's favorite saying. I gotta mention him in it because he started it. But in the immortal words of Zordon. Oh, let's see pictures. Okay, J. Jonah Jameson. I'll show you pictures, Spider. Anywho, in the immortal words of Zordon.